This is our lecture on the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So let's get started. To get a clinical perspective, let's look at a quick flash case. Let's say a 62-year-old man presents to his primary care provider for his annual visit. He states he's attempted to cut back on his consumption of alcoholic beverages, but is having difficulty. He feels worn down, as if the toxic effects of his poor habits stay around longer. Let's keep this in mind as we go through the lecture. Our learning objectives for this lecture are to recognize what functions take place within the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and to associate the functions of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum with appropriate cell types. Okay, before we get into details, let's get a little oriented first. Recognize that this red box is labeling the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the part to the right of it, labeled by this blue box, is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Together, the endoplasmic reticulum is close to the nucleus, in purple in the upper left. Can you see what the difference is between the rough and smooth ER? There are these little red dots where these arrows are pointing, which in the image on the right of an electron micrograph is pointing them out as ribosomes. What can you remember about the ribosomes on the rough endoplasmic reticulum? Yep, they're important for protein synthesis. So if we look at the lower image of an electron micrograph, we can see with this label that it's pointing to the smooth endoplasmic reticulum that doesn't have a bumpy surface, which means there aren't any ribosomes. So the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, as we already noted on the last slide, lacks surface ribosomes. It's the site of both steroid synthesis and detoxification of drugs and poisons. Additionally, it's the location of glucose 6-phosphatase, which is an important enzyme in both glycogenolysis and gluconeogenesis. Can you remember what glycogen storage disease has glucose 6-phosphatase as the enzyme that's deficient? Yep, if you're thinking von Gierke's disease, that's great. Well, now that we've covered that basic information, can you think of any specific types of cells that would be rich in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Sometimes abbreviated just as SER. You should be thinking of cell types that do a lot of detoxification, like the liver hepatocytes and cells that synthesize steroids, like the steroid hormone-producing cells of the adrenal cortex and gonads. Great, let's do a quick flash quiz. What functions take place within the smooth endoplasmic reticulum? Yes, both steroid synthesis and the detoxification of drugs and poisons. Okay, let's get back to this case. Well, sounds like this man has a problem with alcohol. Alcohol can damage our liver hepatocytes, which we know are cells rich in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. He's also saying toxic effects of whatever poor habits he may be referring to seem to be lasting longer. And this makes sense because our smooth endoplasmic reticulum is supposed to detoxify our drugs and poisons. Well, we've made it to the end. What's the bottom line? The smooth endoplasmic reticulum serves as the site of steroid synthesis and detoxification of drugs and poisons. Cells rich in the smooth endoplasmic reticulum include the liver hepatocytes and steroid hormone-producing cells of the adrenal cortex and gonads. That's all I have for you here. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and it'll give you the opportunity to submit a comment if you have any feedback or questions. Thanks for joining me.